All right, live on YouTube, and we'll head over to Facebook here and
Yay! Yay!
hit a couple buttons.
That's why you are the wizard.
Is that that's why I keep that streamer subscription going every month.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Okay, got that one that's kicking off there for Facebook. All right. All right, live video starting on Facebook, so I'm going to pull us away here and hello, here we are. We got everybody on, up and running. Hello, and happy Wednesday. Usually it's Thursday night.
It's usually I come on here and say, happy Friday Eve, but I'm all confused now tonight.
That's all right.
That's all right. How to act.
Very special night planned tonight. So yes, special event on a special night. So it all works out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yes, sir.
So I hope everyone's doing pretty well. Hopefully it's going pretty well for everyone. Hopefully spring's starting to set in. Is spring setting in on the island? I know it tends to be a little later there.
Well, we say it's January, February, March, June. There's not really much of a spring here.
Yeah.
Yes, I did an impromptu road trip over the spring break last year. My wife and I just did the Cape and then hopped over to the island for a day. And I had delusions of grandeur. I was going to take my bike and I was going to ride the Cape in 3 days. And we were going to go over to the island and visit a friend or two. And it rained for 5 days, but we still ventured around the island. We still ventured. We just, instead of riding and doing these wonderful outdoor things, we went to Truro and visited the vineyards and stopped at Bad Martha's. And we did those, went to bookstores and those kind of things. So, but wonderful time anyway.
A rainy day on the vineyard is better than a good day at work. That's all I'm going to say.
That's right. And it's a great day to visit a museum too.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. So we want to welcome everyone for joining us tonight and coming on. We have wonderful guests on tonight from the Martha's Vineyard Museum. We have Rebecca and Kathy joining us tonight to talk a little bit about JAWS 50 events, and it's something that we are all extremely excited about, really excited about. So I want to thank you guys for coming on. Mike and Janie, as always, love that we can get together here once a week. And it's just always a lot of fun, really, no matter when it is, no matter what the topic is, just being able to get us all in one room, even virtually, and, not have to really worry about anything else that's going on. It's just a lot of fun. It's my kind of like my big break for the week. So yeah. Really always appreciate it. Yeah. Awesome. So, so we have Kathy is the managing director of the museum, correct?
Correct. Yep.
All right.
Basically the right hand to the executive director. And so I manage all the day-to-day operations.
That's awesome. Wow. Sounds like a lot too. I'm a school teacher, so I'm a couple rings below you.
No.
I'm holding the ladder, maybe. Maybe that's where I'm at. I'm at the bottom of the ladder. So, and we have Rebecca joining us as well, and she's the marketing and communications manager, part of the commerce and with the museum as well. So, wow, very nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. I am Kathy's left hand, so not like quite essential, but like I'm the cute side.
Okay.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, we're very, very happy to have you guys on and join us. We talked last week we kind of went through about when you're going to the island and kind of the do's and the don'ts of the island. And we thought we'd wait to have you guys on until we really get into some of the details and the information, but it'd be fun to kind of learn a little bit more about kind of the background with like the vineyard and the story. And obviously the two of you being a local to the island. So how did you guys end up on the island? Are you islanders? Are you Washashores? Are you summer ginks like us? Like what's your backstory?
Did they visit and never leave?
Yes.
Yeah. So, my husband was a summer kid back in the 70s. He was here when JAWS was being filmed. He was not in the movie, but he was hanging around the docks. So he, in 1975, would have been 10 years old. His family had a house in Katama, and so he would spend his summers here. As he became a teenager, he worked here. He worked at Ray Cutler's Bikes in Edgartown. And so he introduced me to the island in 1991. So I came as a tourist, basically. And at first I was like, wait, it's an island. There's no palm trees. It was a completely different island experience for me. But I did immediately fall in love with it. And so then we would come for, a week here, a weekend or two a year. And there was always just this feeling like when you were on the ferry leaving, like, oh, I have to wait a whole nother year to come back.
Yeah.
And so we were fortunate to, his parents had some property here that we purchased from them and built a house in 2006 in Edgartown. And so then at least we could come more frequently, and it wasn't just a once a year thing. And so we started coming up much more frequently. And then in 2020, we were both able to start working remotely. So we just started living in our house here. And then before we knew it, a year's going by, another year's going by, and we're like, we can't leave. I just remember having, a couple of experiences we were out, my friends and I went out on State Beach, which of course is a big Jaws scene. And believe it or not, we were out in the middle of the night on kayaks watching and paddle boards, watching the moonrise, the harvest moonrise. It was just this amazing experience. Fortunately, we're not all afraid of sharks, so we were out there, and that was just one of those nights where I was like, I just can't leave. And so we have now settled down here year round on the islands, starting in 2020 as a wash ashore.
Wow.
My dog was a wash ashore before I was, because I had to get her. We adopted her while we were here, and had to go get the dog license in the town hall. And every time I go in our Edgartown town hall, the scene just is in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's awesome. So, do you run your hand down the chalkboard to get people's attention?
Yeah, or hit the sign above you on your head,
Yeah, when you hit your head on the sign, sure.
Hit the sign like Scheider did. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Rebecca, how about you?
Well, so my vineyard story started a little bit unexpectedly. I was born and raised in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'd never been to New England. And during my finals week, senior year at Radford University, avoiding the real world, I literally Googled lifeguarding on the beach, and 13th page of Google found the Chappaquiddick Beach Club. I got the job, moved to Chappie. You live there. It's 9 of us that live there. And after working all day, that beach club is ours. And we run the beach club at night, and it is so much fun. And the time of my life, I did 3 seasons out there. I met my husband, my now husband, and that was it. It was not a hard sell to get him to move from Boston back home. He is a proud Boomerang kid. He's a 5th generation Islander. He grew up in the house that we're in now. The state forest is named after his great grandfather. So Manuel Corellis is my grandma's grandfather. Yeah. So it's more than home. It's like this is
that's a heritage.
It is, yeah. There's signs everywhere with my husband's name. He's running for the planning board here in Edgartown. So we're deeply rooted here. We moved here in 2020. We knew we wanted to raise our kids here. So I have 2 toddlers, 3.5 and 2, and they go to preschool here. They go to the same school that their dad and their nanny went to. And this is just the best place in the whole world. And I professionally have worked in a span of things. I've been in marketing for about a decade. I've worked with people like Google and NASCAR and PGA. And I was I've been here since early fall at the museum, and just of all the stuff I've done, it's a cool job to be able to tell stories about the place that I love so much and kind of share stories about the island with the world in a way that they haven't heard before. So it's yeah,
Wow.
it's my coworkers make some of the coolest things ever. So I can't wait for you guys to see.
Cool. Very cool.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we cannot wait to see what you have in store. We really can't. Because I've never been, so this is going to be a very good experience for me.
Totally.
Yes, and I've been there several times. So I actually said to someone the other day, you can't just make one trip and think that you know you can't. You
I'm
can't.
still finding places on the island after
Right.
all these years and now living here year round. It's amazing. I'll be driving down some dirt road that I've never driven down before, and I'm like, I never knew this was here.
Surprises at every corner. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So I think, you could live here a lifetime and probably still not see every
Still
corner.
not see anything. Exactly. It's a magical place. There you
Mhm.
go.
Agreed 100%. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So I guess we're going to maybe get into talk a little bit about some of the events and some of the organization. Now I know we're not really necessarily looking at perhaps one big single organization of all of the events together because of the fact that they're just not one big organization. So it's kind of set out to individuals and businesses and to kind of, get these things up and running. I guess maybe more like a grassroots approach, from the bottom up as opposed to say from corporate down. So can you tell us a little bit more about some of the organizations on the museum and how they're getting involved?
Yeah. It is. I would say it is ground up, but also really coordinated by the Chamber of Commerce. And so Rebecca and I have been sitting on the the JAWS 50th Planning Committee with other island organizations. We as the museum we actually started planning an exhibition for the 45th anniversary that was supposed to be, our biggest exhibition yet. And then, of course, COVID happened. And so all of our plans changed. So our exhibition has actually been like 5 years in the making.
Oh, wow.
So we started all of that. It's been a really great experience for Rebecca and I working with the Chamber and other organizations and businesses. We're really trying to create an experience as much as it's individual grassroots. We're trying to make an experience that's going to be great for all of our visitors. So we're very consciously planning, okay, you're doing an event on this day, so we're going to do an event on this day, planning out different times for it. And so, I think for the island, it's never been a question of if we were going to do something. It's really, what are we going to do?
Sure.
It is a challenge. I mean, Nate, I know, your show last week, you were talking about how the island, it's small. It's both large and small in that, it's pretty extensive end to end, but our towns are all small. Our parking is limited. Once you start getting the summer crowds in, you have to manage the crowds. So there's really a lot that has to go into thinking about any sort of event you're going to have and what is the flow of people going to be? Where are they going to park? How's this going to work?
Yeah.
And so there's good reasons why we have very strict permitting that, so we have to really work with each town. Each town does have its own government. So if you're going to plan an event, you got to make sure you're getting your town permits. And I think that's also why you see, I know a year ago, there was some big announcements of some event organizers envisioning a big 10-day JAWS Fest out in Aquinnah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it really takes people that live here and work here to work through all of the different things you have to consider to put on an event.
Well, and I think that's a good point too. I think, part of that is the fact that you're you're not going on to a movie set. You're not going to
No.
stadium or an amusement park or something. You're literally coming into the lives of, where people live and work and exist
Yes.
every single
Correct.
day. And so it's definitely a lot trickier than buying a ticket and going to a show,
Yes.
per se. So
Right.
Yes.
a lot more cogs, that have to move, and a lot more that is involved with that. And I, completely definitely understand that. And something like this is such a big undertaking too. It's not like you can pull this off in a week. So
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at
Yes.
all.
So so there has been a lot of behind the scenes and a lot of really collaboration. We have some great representatives on the planning committee. There are a lot of nonprofits like us. We are a nonprofit as the museum. And as I was thinking about them all, we're like 100 years or older in many cases. So you have the Vineyard Gazette that I know you all had Monica on,
Yeah.
that just celebrated their 175th anniversary in 2021. So long-standing
Wow.
institution. The museum, we were founded in 1923 as the Dukes County Historical Society in Edgartown. At one point, we got space for a small museum on Cook Street in Edgartown. It's a property we still own today.
I was at the small museum years. It was my first or second trip. I was there. Yes.
Yes, yeah. So now we use it for some different programming, and we have tavern night there and things like that. The museum purchased what is now our current day museum. They purchased the Marine Hospital. The Marine Hospital itself is over 100 years old. Yeah, there you go. So this used to be, on the other side of the museum is the lagoon. And so, the ships in the harbor, the ships all used to come into Vineyard Haven Harbor. And so this really became a hospital for the Marine workers. I think it was about 2012, 2013, something that the museum was purchased. Went through a big renovation. After it had been a Marine hospital, it was a summer camp actually for many years. So there's a lot of people on the island that have memories of coming to summer camp at the building. In fact, in our museum, there's a little exhibit. You can see the history about what all has gone on at our property. But we opened our doors in 2019. It was actually March 13th, 2019. And then exactly a year later, March 13th, 2020, we had to close the doors for a period of time for COVID. And then, of course, we all know that we were able to open up at one point. We just had a lot of, time ticketing and social distancing and things to let people still see the museum. But in addition to the museum, so the Chamber of Commerce actually is celebrating their 100-year anniversary this year as well. And the Vineyard Preservation Trust owns a lot of properties, including the Old Sculpin Gallery, which was the basically, the model for Quint's Shack that ultimately got built in Menemsha. Yeah. So they own properties like that. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. And so you have all of these nonprofits that were well established on the island. We have experience putting on events, putting on programs. And so it's a natural thing for us all to come together. And we're doing it in partnership with some businesses as well. So also on the planning committee, we have the Harborview Hotel, which, was where the great food fight happened. We also have the boards of trade. So each town has its own board of trade that really tries to work with all the local businesses because, Nate, as you've pointed out, we are an island of small businesses. We don't have big chains. And so each town has its own board of trade. So they're all on the planning committee. So, really great collaboration across all of these businesses and organizations.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, since we're talking about the businesses and organizations, why don't we maybe start to hit on some of the events that are planned here and talk about. Let me pull us up here, and we can maybe you guys could elaborate on some of these guys. I love the fact that one of those is sold out already. That's pretty cool.
I know. It looks like a bingo card there, doesn't it? There's already a
Yeah,
dog on it.
Yeah. So, well, let me start with kind of like the big picture of what's going on across the island, and then I'll have Rebecca start to talk specifically about some of these museum events.
Okay.
So as the museum, we are going to have our exhibition, Jaws at 50, a deeper dive, going on all summer long, starting with, we're opening it Memorial Day weekend. It's going to run through September 7th. So if you're not able to come to just the Jaws 50th weekend, we will have some things for you to see and do all summer long. We as the museum will also have some programs throughout the summer. We've really been focusing on getting all these up and running for what we're calling Amity Homecoming Weekend, which is going to be June 19th to the 23rd. And yes, we are kicking it off with you guys. And so excited that you have sold out already. And I'll let Rebecca talk a little bit about some of these other programs that we have going on. But to give you a picture of some of the other things happening that weekend, we are expecting a couple more big events to be announced. There's, like I said, there's a lot that goes into planning an event. And so there are a couple island organizations and businesses. We're expecting there will be a very fun event on Friday night, a very fun event on Saturday night. Of course, you also have the event at the Wharf on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I know that's sold out. So if you weren't fortunate enough to get the tickets for that, there still are going to be some things for you to do on Friday and Saturday night. On Sunday, and we'll dive into this a little bit more, but the museum is in partnership with the Vineyard Gazette for Reunion Day. And that's going to be a fun event with lots of locals and meet and greets. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then the Edgartown Board of Trade has an annual Amity Week. That is something that we have started as an annual tradition. This year, of course, it's going to be bigger than ever. That is running from June 20th to June 29th. And will include, Mike, I think you're going to be involved in some of the book signings, right, at Edgartown Books?
I'm doing the Friday, the 20th. I'm doing a book signing at Edgartown Books. Myself, Joe Alves, Dennis Prince, and then I'm supposed to do one Sunday also at the homecoming or at the reunion. Yeah.
Oh
my God, also, is that the picture? Is that the picture for the shark is still working? Oh my goodness!
That's
me and my SpongeBob pajamas.
Grab you in your collection there, Mike. Sorry. Here you thought this was going to be dignified this night. Sorry, Mike. Come on. You're really upstaging us here this evening. I'm sorry, buddy.
I like SpongeBob. I'm sorry. Of all the pictures I sent them, that was the one they used. I was like,
some of the other things, Amity Week in Edgartown, Rosewater Wine and Spirits is going to have a tasting event daily from 3 to 4. So you can stop by and drink like Quint and try a Narragansett Jaws lager.
Ooh.
Maybe crush a can even.
There you go, Nate. There you go.
My running club, I'll do a little plug for Amity Island Running Club, which I think, Nate, you've joined us on some runs. There you go.
I have tons of run. You know what? I almost put another Run Gear shirt on, but I decided to put the Cycling Club shirt on tonight instead. I'm sorry, but yes, the Run Club is awesome. Every time that we're there, we always go hang out, do the runs, hang out at Bad Martha's a little bit afterwards, or go down to the Bend in the Road. Yes, love it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we always do an annual shark run that week. So typically we have a run on Monday nights and on Thursday nights. Monday is usually at Bad Martha's. Thursday is usually at Bend in the Road Beach. Sometimes they get switched around. But the shark run was so much fun last year. We started at Bad Martha's. We all had these inflatable sharks on and we're running. And the great thing is you don't have to really run in an inflatable costume, right? So you can just kind of chug along. And
Which is kind of good.
We're a very, no, like anybody can come to the running club. You can walk. You don't even have to walk. You can just come for the social hour.
They call it sometimes more of a drinking club than a running club.
Drinkers with a running problem. Is that the way that's usually
right.
phrased, I believe? Yes.
That's right.
And if I can kind of insert that, obviously all these events and things, and people are talking about, well, what do all these things cost? There are things such as joining the Amity Run Club that don't cost you a dime. You just show up.
Exactly.
It's just a local community event. Great group of people. Yeah, it really is just a lot of fun. Yeah.
No, we both the running club and the cycling club. I'm part of both, and it is. They're all you just show up, and great way to meet locals, to learn and what some of the things are to do. And there's so many things on the vineyard that it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to do.
Right.
There's plenty of things that can cost a lot of money, but some of the best things you can do are just going and hanging out.
Yeah, very much so.
And then the last event that week that I'll mention is also we have a Jaws inspired doggy costume that's being put on by one of our local by Alfresco Tales. My English Bulldog is often in Alfresco Tales costume contests. And so that's on June 29th. And you can go visit the Edgartown Lighthouse at sunset and see all the dogs in costume.
Aww.
That sounds like an awful lot of fun.
So that's kind of the overview.
I know that the Edgartown Board of Trade, I know that they were working really hard to get approval for some of these businesses to bring out their old signage. So the bike shop, Amity Bank, Chappie Ferry, Amity Ferry.
Oh, wow.
So all of those things, I believe that they have gotten the green light to put up some of their old signage for that week. So that would be really, really cool to see too. A lot of cool photo ops.
Oh, that's a great opportunity.
That would be incredible, especially the people that, not just for the people that haven't been there, even people that have been there, but to walk around Amity and see the signs up. That's going to be a very cool opportunity.
Yeah, the town really gets into
They had
it.
them up
It's really, really nice.
Yeah, they had them up in 2005. I remember. Yeah, the bank and the hardware store and ice cream parlor and
Yep.
Very nice.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Great. But I think, Rebecca, you were going to do a deeper dive on all of our museum programs.
I was. And I think it's probably only fair to kick off with your all. Jess, you're kicking off the weekend. And unfortunately, we have sold out, but we are collecting a wait list. We're exploring options to sell more tickets. We have like 15 people on the wait list so far. So we're potentially talking about moving it outside if we can have strong enough Wi-Fi, maybe do a live stream viewing option in another part of the museum. So we're working on it, trying to figure it out. But in the meantime, we have a wait list signed up or set up. So that will be really, really good for everyone to be able to see. And then on Friday, we have the Jaws deep dive. So that's the fanatic look at the classic film. That is with Bo Van Riper, who I don't feel like needs much of an introduction with this group.
None whatsoever.
Yeah, so he's a college professor of pop culture. He really knows what he's talking about.
Nice.
He also was an extra, so he is a delight to listen to in any capacity. I would pay to listen to him talk, but I get to listen to him every day for free. On Saturday, June 21st, we've got the Growing Up with Uncle Quint. So that is with Robert Shaw's nephew, Christopher Shaw Myers is his name. So that's at 1:00. And then we also have Wendy Benchley's Reflections from Jaws to Ocean Conservation. That's at 4:00. Yes, it is that Benchley. That's the wife of Peter Benchley. So she's wonderful. The work that they have put in since Jaws to conservation is really, really admirable. And she's great to listen to. So that will be wonderful. And then on Sunday, Sunday is a big, big day. We are starting with Meet Joe Alves. So that is a talk and then a book signing. Dennis Prince will be with him. That's at 11. And then at 2:00 is the On the Job with W.D. Hendricks. So we have opened up all of these slots and they are starting to fill up. So there is limited seating for each of these. And then just to close it up, I'll get back to the rest of Sunday, but on Monday we have the Orca model. So that's with Court Carino. So he is bringing down his replica, the interior of the Orca. So it'll just be really, really cool for everyone to be able to step inside and experience it. So he is coming down from Michigan with the boat, coming down. I know he's making the trek down on that Wednesday, so it should be on view from Thursday through Monday of that weekend. So that is going to be just a really cool, unique experience for people. We're never open on Mondays. It's never a thing, but for this group, we thought we've got to do it big. So in addition to Court's program, the whole museum will be open. So that will be just another way for the fans to come in and celebrate before the end of the weekend. So, yeah.
And Court has a series of YouTube videos as he was going through and building the Orca replica, and it is insane the amount of accuracy that he has added in there. So that is going to be such a treat when that's there. I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
Well, I was surprised because I think I told you, Nate, he sent me some pictures to put in the book. And in one of the pictures, in the reflection of the gallery window, I saw a pickup truck.
Yeah.
And I said, do you do model trucks too? What do you mean? It says, because in the window, I can see a pickup truck. He goes, no, that's my truck. He says, this is a life-size boat. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought he just, model maker, but geez, yeah, the detail and down to the last rivet on the seats. And yeah, it's beautiful.
And then the fact that it can be like shipped and brought down from Michigan and then like put back together is fascinating to me.
I was on the day the ferry reservations opened up. I was on trying to get the reservation for his truck and his trailer.
Oh gosh, I can't even imagine how the measurement.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And then I ended up just talking to somebody at the steamship and saying, look, because it wasn't quite working that I could get the truck and the trailer at the same time, and fortunately they came through for me. Originally we had him going back on a Monday ferry, and then we're like, no, we really want to stay open on Monday, and he wanted to stay longer. So then I put him on the wait list for Tuesday, and fortunately it came through. So we're going to have him an extra day.
I can't even imagine how that conversation went, because it was difficult to get my Kia on the ferry with the measurements, and you're putting a trailer and a truck in part of the Orca.
Exactly.
That was a fun conversation.
Isn't Gabe bringing his Blazer too for the weekend?
I believe so.
For the museum event?
Yeah.
I believe so.
I think that they are working out a perfect spot on the lawn for it where it can be on display.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
all is
Yeah.
someone with, with
Photo
a
op.
pair of glasses and a
Yeah.
and a cop uniform and about a 30-inch waist with a good tan, and we're
Yes.
going to be set.
You got it. Scheider right there. You're
we,
good.
we need Scheider. Yes.
We
And
need
members
Scheider.
only. And a members only.
And about-
Yeah.
Awesome. Very nice. Very nice. Very exciting.
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about Sunday's reunion day. So that is being fully led by Vineyard Gazette Media Group. So what I'm telling you is stuff that they have given us permission to share, stuff that we're working on with them, but I would encourage all questions to go to them. But I know that they are working really hard and securing a lot of really cool stuff. So it's really going to be set up. So it's on our front lawn from 11 a.m. to 4. And it's really being set up as almost like a festival. So they want it to be a completely immersive experience with booths of people selling their Jaws-inspired merch. There will be music, food and drinks, book signings, autographs. I know there is an autograph tent for everybody that is being set up. That's with Jeffrey Kramer, Wendy Benchley, Michael Hayden, Carol Fligger, Tom Dunlap. And I know that they just booked one of my favorite Islanders, Mr. John Searle. So he is an Island legend. Yeah, so to have him there will be really cool. So the Islanders that worked on the film or that were extras in the film, they'll be wearing different I worked on Jaws, Ask Me How, and just to be able to share different stories and interact with fans. And they will proudly tell you I was the back of Roy Schneider's head in one scene. I was an extra. The 4th of July parade, I think that's what my husband's uncle was an extra in the 4th of July parade. They just, pulled people.
Wow.
But then everyone attending will get a Jaws commemorative magazine. And then there is a memorabilia area with, I know there is a signed script dated August 5th, 1974. There's also some home movies from the filming. They are still collecting memorabilia for Reunion Day. So if you have something you want or you think is great enough to be displayed for Reunion Day, you should reach out to marketing at Vineyard Gazette. And then if you have something that you think would be a great addition to our exhibition or to the museum, you can reach out to us. That's events@mvmuseum.org. I know what these Jaws pieces mean to you all.
Oh yeah.
And then there is, they do have a VIP experience, and they are making sure everything is written in stone before they are announcing all of those final details. But what I can tell you is that VIP, the first 50 people that register for a VIP ticket get parking, which I can tell you a little bit about later, but is a big issue, not only on the island, but at the museum.
Yes.
So guaranteed parking, refreshments, food, drink tickets, swag bags, access to the museum, and then there's exclusive meet and greet. So not just the autograph tent, but actually being able to interact with people like Jeffrey Kramer, Wendy Benchley, and Tom Dunlap are the ones that have been secured so far. And I know that there are more to come. Getting these people nailed down is tricky.
Yeah.
Excellent. And I did want to pull up the MV Museum webpage there just to let you guys at home know. This is one that she's talking about. And the events, if you're looking for a central hub to go check it out and hit the events, if you scroll down through the entire weekend, it's there. And you hit to register, to sign up. I can get this link posted up on the pages after the show for everyone. That way, not worried about where am I going to go? How can I get in there and register? It's all right there. Right at your fingers. You don't have to go anywhere else. So
yeah, we really tried to make it. I know it's a lot happening for such a small island, and so we really are trying to make it as easy to navigate as possible.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We do have just two comments. I think a lot of people are just kind of sitting back tonight and soaking this in, kind of taking in all the information, which is great. I'm doing it myself. So yeah, very much so. So Kelly's saying everything sounds amazing. Well, she's saying I'm sad I'll be missing it. So
Oh,
Kelly,
sorry, Cal.
sorry to hear that, Kelly. But Kelly, I will tell you this for some of you guys that won't be making it. I'm going to attempt to do some shows from the island as well while I'm there. As long as I can kind of get everything to align, I will be trying to bring some coverage for you guys. Just the island itself and some things there while I'm there. So we won't forget about you guys. I promise that. So, and
Arizona is not that far away, Kelly. Come on.
this is true. This is true.
Yeah, Cal, come on.
And Victor, one of our friends, is one of our Canadian friends who's going to be coming to join us on the vineyard. He just wanted to stop in and say hello to everyone. So thank you very much, Rick. Awesome. Great. Okay. Let's see what else.
So I have a question for the ladies.
Yeah.
How excited are you about all of this personally? I mean,
Extremely excited.
I mean, I know it's a big thing to take and put together, but personally, this is a big event for us fans, and we do appreciate it. We're very humbled that you've invited us, but I'm just curious about how do you feel about it?
Yeah. I started at the museum in September.
Okay.
I got my job offer in June. I started doing some transition over the summer. And as I met with my boss, she said, okay, she gave me 5 projects, I think it was. And one of them was Jaws. And I'm like, yes.
It was like, yes, miracle. Okay, yes, I'm taking it. It's mine. I can't have it anymore. What about you, Rebecca?
You know what? So again, I grew up in the South, so New England and sharks is not really something that I thought about. And then after I met my husband, actually, that's not true. Before that, my boss made me watch it. My husband made me watch it again so that I could get the inside view to say, see the Chappie Ferry? It's literally spinning in a circle. See those cabanas? They made it look like the Chappie Beach Club. It's at South Beach. So I had to get the inside perspective. So it's this whole community is really, really fascinating and really cool. And I'm excited to welcome them all and have them experience the island in a different way.
Well, from what the 3 of us have been talking about, we can see that you're putting a lot of labor, blood, sweat, and tears into it. And I think it's going to come together very well for the fans because they've contacted Nate, they've contacted myself, they've contacted Mike. We have a lot of people coming to see you, and we're all excited. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Our pleasure.
And there was 2 more things I wanted to touch on. I was talking a little bit earlier. We were talking about some just the wonderful, just the local organizations. We talked about the Run Club and the Cycling Club and stuff like that. And there are some other things that are going on, at least that while people are going to be there right in that general time frame. One of which that I know when we go, we're usually there for this just about every year. And we always have a lot of fun. It's something you can go and do an experience down at the harbor at Oak Bluffs, and that's Harbor Fest that comes up right around that time of year as well. And it's just a great time. You can go down, you can walk around, you can mingle, you can meet people, you can grab a bite to eat. If you want to check out some things and fare from local businesses, pop in. It is a wonderful event, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is going to be kind of a Shark and Jaws themed Harbor Fest this year as well.
Yes, it is.
Right.
I'm glad I forgot to mention it, but yes, the Oak Bluffs Business Association that is part of the chamber is really excited about this. It's the perfect timing. It's the 33rd annual Harbor Fest. We have a lot of traditions on the island, and so all those tents are going to have a lot of merchandise related to Jaws, I think, a lot of the towns are also planning different types of art installations and things with shark themes but this is a great event. Again, it's free other than what you buy, but you can just go.
If anything, just walk along the sidewalk here because that harbor is a parking lot for boats. It is a party place. The OB just really it's alive. It's really, really fun.
And there's incredible places all right along that stretch. There's an incredible sandwich shop on the other side, general
Yes.
store. You go up the other side, you can hit Nancy's. You can hit, what is it, Sandbar.
Mhm.
Coops is one of my favorites. I love stopping in at Coops and hanging out and talking with some of those guys. Yeah. In the mornings you can go down to, Black Dog's got a little spot right there too. So yeah, just a great area to just kind of go and hang out with. Yeah. Very nice. And the other thing I just wanted to kind of throw up there, which has been floating around because of, not just because it's a sporting event, because of who's actually going to be playing there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
going to be the Sharks, which is the Vineyard Sharks, is going to be playing against the Quints, and there's even commemorative jerseys that you guys can get if that's something you're interested into. But they're going to be playing a game. And that's going to be on Thursday evening. So that'll be something to do. And, again, links, you can grab a ticket, go hang out, enjoy the game, have a little fun, take the family along. Yeah, just a great time.
Yeah. In fact, if you remember when we were trying to decide what time to do your show, I said, well, we should do it earlier so you all can do that and go to the baseball game.
Move right along.
We had several people that are going. Ours just said, we weren't sure when the baseball game or when your show was. So yeah. I like the Amity Sharks jerseys. The Quints, they're starting to grow on me, but I was like, so I'll probably get a Sharks jersey, but not a Quint. I'm not a fan of the fancy Q.
No, but wait a second, and this is coming from me. I'm going to give you a fashion tip. Imagine being at the game with the Quint jersey on, and you have the Quint Sperry shoes on to go along with it.
Oh, that's true.
And Mike, just shave
true.
like this much off.
Oh my God!
You have the lamb chop,
right? Which ones to wear?
Right. Listen, the company that makes the replica hats is here in Hanover, not terribly far from me. That makes the actual official hats. I'll grab you a hat. We'll do a little trim job on you before we get you there. What do you think? I don't think he's sold on it. I don't think he's sold.
No, I think you shocked him.
I like it. You wear your Quints, I wear my Hooper shoes. So.
There you go. You can do the Hooper shoes. Wonderful. Hey, Victor is asking a quick question here. When is the Edgartown Theater showing Jaws?
That's a good question. Usually the theaters here are showing Jaws all summer long, and there's a regular schedule.
Good.
I have heard that with the release of the 50th anniversary version, that there's tighter licensing this year of the movie. So I think it's a little bit up in the air what our local theaters are going to be able to do.
Well, I know the Edgartown Theater usually is Sunday, but yeah.
It'll be Sunday. I have a friend in the exhibitor business who's an exhibitor, and I do his show in Baltimore every week. And we were talking about this, and I think they are pulling Jaws for the summer, except for Edgartown. So the only place you can see Jaws this summer is Edgartown. And then the weekend of the 29th of August, it comes back out in theaters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
All right.
if you want to see it on the big screen,
Mike,
place to be.
one of our new viewers, Alan, he said you need to do the Quint lamb chop kind of.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No, because I have to shave this, and I have.
Yeah, but then just
I look like Curly. I look like Curly from the Three Stooges without a beard. So.
Well, sounds like we have an incredible selection, and what's really nice is it's in a nice cohesive manner, so you don't have to worry about events running over top of each other.
Correct.
We've got a nice central hub. We can go and kind of hit those, find that information, places we want to register, and look at the dates and times. And so it seems like things are really coming together nicely. And so for someone that is going, they can really kind of align essentially an itinerary for themselves for the time or schedule that they're there. Pick the things that they want to do and And to be honest with you, then maybe, as far as I'm concerned, go spend some time that are non-Jaws things, because there's
Exactly.
so much of the
Agreed.
island to experience that
Agreed.
is not Jaws related. And
Definitely.
Jaws is what took me to the island,
Definitely.
but I go there now easily just as much for the non-Jaws related things.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely.
So speaking of non-Jaws related things, so since we have you ladies on tonight, so you're local on the island. You're going out after a night of, I don't know, maybe hitting a couple of Jaws events. What restaurant are you going to end up at? Where are you going to eat, or where are you going to stop and wet your whistle? Where are your favorite spots?
I can go first. I am a savant in the restaurant and bar industry around here, so I've got you. But so if you're at the museum, I would say you're probably walking. So I would walk right back down to downtown Vineyard Haven, and there is the most beautiful new restaurant called Nine Craft Kitchen. It is owned by my friend and chef Joe, and he makes the best steak you'll ever have. His wine guy John is a genius, the best glass of red wine to go with it. If you want like a more hidden spot, you're going to keep walking up the street and above Waterside Market, which was on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. But above it, they have like a dinner spot, and it's called The Attic. And it is hidden, and you have to know where to go, and it's a stairwell, and up there is the best little hideout. So
Ooh,
those are my
that
two
sounds like
inside
fun.
tips.
No
Ooh,
kidding.
I like that idea. I like that idea.
Spot
Best
within a
steak.
spot.
I'm in Kansas City, so you threw out best steak.
Yeah.
Come and tell him I sent you. Challenge
I
accepted.
will.
Oh,
I'll speak for him.
nice.
Uh-oh. I see this coming. You see that? You
Yeah,
know why I
text
can
him right
extend
now.
that, Chief? Arm wrestling
Get the
match, Martha's
tomahawk.
Vineyard, 2025. Yeah.
There you go. She took me, just pulled me right over.
Kathy, what about you? Where are you going to venture out to?
Since she went with Vineyard Haven, I'll go with Edgartown.
Okay.
And one of my favorite summer spots is the Seafood Shanty. I don't know if any of you have been to the Seafood Shanty. There's a great deck that
Yes.
overlooks the harbor. So you get a great view of the Chappie Ferry, of the Chappie Beach Club, of all the boats coming and going. And if you like seafood, it's a really great seafood. I like to get the Seafood Tower that has a lot of has kind of raw bar / cooked lobster, and so that's
They actually have the best sushi guy on the whole island too. So it's a secret spot for the best sushi.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Last time I was there, I had it was a like a southwestern. It was fresh tuna, I believe, bluefin sushi. That was just, and I'm not a huge sushi guy, but I thought if I'm going to eat sushi, it's going to be here. It was absolutely incredible. It was amazing. Yeah, my son and I said, yeah, wonderful. Yeah.
And speaking of food, actually, we have a fun contest that Rebecca just put up on the page that you showed on our Amity Homecoming Weekend page. So we have a First Light Cafe in the museum. It's operated by Gina Stanley, who also runs the Art Cliff Diner in Vineyard Haven, which is also another great spot if you've ever been to the Art Cliff. So she always features her great baked goods and lunch kind of food. She's also going to be doing a lot of the catering for the Vineyard Gazette's reunion day. So she would like to solicit ideas for Jaws and shark inspired food. And so we have a submission form that you can submit your ideas. She's going to select up to 5 winners, and you'll get a $25 gift certificate to the First Light Cafe if your food naming item is chosen.
There it is.
I may have to participate in that, ladies.
There it is. Or I can just tell my wife I'm going for it and just try everything and see, So, what are you doing? I'm going for the $25 gift certificate.
There you go. Another way to save money.
You're bargain hunting.
Yes,
There it is.
yes.
There you go. There it is.
Yes. Wonderful. Incredible. Yeah. Very good. Well, we're just about rounding out the hour here, and a lot of fabulous information. And I love that we're kind of just not just talking about Jaws, but we're just kind of talking about the island in general here, and kind of learning about some of those little subtleties. So you're on the island. Doesn't matter when it is. It could be now, could be middle of winter. But let's say you're on the island and it's this summer. What is your picturesque day of the island? What are your activities doing? Where are you at? How are you enjoying them?
Okay. I am starting my day, as I do pretty much every month year round, with a dip in the ocean. My beach of choice is State Beach because it is flat and calm and shallow and beautiful. But even while pregnant, I jump in that ocean. I think it is the best place in the world. So I would start there. I would pick up breakfast from Rosewater. And I would go to a spot that I'm not going to tell you, a trail with I have a German short hair. So we go hiking. A spot I will tell you is called Great Rock Bight. It's up island a little bit, but it is a really cool short walk to an amazing secret swim spot. A huge rock out in the middle that you can jump off of. It's really cool. I would then grab a Liz Lemon sandwich from 7A. It's this incredible sandwich with rye bread and roast beef and Thousand Island coleslaw, all the things. It's so good. We would take our boat out to Chappie, probably do some swimming, some boating. And then I would wrap it up probably with dinner at Port Hunter or Les Trois. Those are two downtown Edgartown, really, really good dinner spots. So that's it. I've thought about this once or twice.
Very nice.
Just a few times, huh?
Just a couple.
Just a couple.
And you Jaws nuts, Port Hunter is where the interior shots of the hardware store were shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very cool. Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, Kathy.
My perfect vineyard day. It's a Sunday. I'm doing a ride with the cycling club. We're cycling all the way out to the other end of the island and back. So I get home. And I get the text that all my friends are going to the beach. My husband and I load up the paddle boards. We go down to Katama Bay. We plop the paddle boards in. We paddle across. Our friends have already driven out onto Norton Point, and they've got all the barbecue set up, and we're just hanging out at South Beach, hoping there's no sharks. On occasion there are. So I don't swim in that beach. I do swim at State Beach, but not South Beach. It's just like it's a picture perfect day. It's the waves are crashing, just hanging out with friends, and then maybe I come home and I cook. I have a food CSA, a vegetable CSA from Morning Glory Farm. I have a seafood CSA. I know what boat it was caught on, when it was caught, and I cook it up for dinner.
Wow.
That's impressive.
That does sound like a good day.
Oh, yeah.
We are lucky.
You
very much
you ladies really are, yes. Yes.
Very much so. Very much
well,
so.
We can't wait to share it with you this summer. You're going to love it.
Yes. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Yeah.
Counting the days.
We are counting the days, and I have to say that I think that we have tried very hard to explain to people that the island itself is actually another character of the movie, and we're and seriously, and it's very true, because then they get to go and visit these nice towns. They get to go and see the culture. They get to see the museum. So you're actually going to be in it. Excuse me. And it's very true, because you really feel like you are stepping on a movie set. But we've also told them, please go explore the island. There is so much more. There's so much more there. So, and I think there's a lot of people that are excited to do that on this trip for you girls. So
Great.
We're good for it. We're promoting the hell out of it for you.
There you go.
Well,
Countdown.
84 days.
There it is.
There you go. Mike has the countdown website. It is running. Yes. Yes.
Yep.
84 days, 3 hours, 57 minutes, and 26 seconds.
Oh
We have
gosh.
so much to do.
I
No
know.
pressure. No pressure.
No pressure
But
at
if-
all. No.
But if you count the days instead of months, it sounds like there's a lot more time left than
There
what
we
you
go.
really
There we go. We plan. Yeah.
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 It's better to
Awesome.
have 84 than 3. Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
yes.
True.
There you go.
Great. Well, we want to thank you guys for your time
Thank
and
you.
and
Thank
hanging
you
out
very
with
much.
us. Really, really a lot of information that we definitely did not have or could not cover. So I
Correct.
really want to thank you girls for after a long or a busy day coming on and then spending the time with us this evening. So really nice of you to come in here. I know it's getting late, but really great. And I imagine we're probably going to be talking to you guys again on the show sometime between now and then, because again, we have a span of, about 80 days, until this happens. So I'm sure we're going to be looking at some updated information. Who knows, maybe some possible other events or dates or whatever that are happening between now and then, the way things are popping up. But we are incredibly and genuinely excited about them and what we're seeing already, and just can't wait to get the island. So again, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you
Really
so
looking
much.
forward to welcoming you all to the island.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait to meet you guys in person.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
It'll be like coming home for me.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. All right. And before we officially call it quit, so Mike received some really interesting information that we're going to let take us out tonight
Oh, this is
as
so
we end
exciting.
this up before we do our little tradition here. And so, Mike, you wanna share that with us? I'll bring up a visual as you're talking.
Certainly. Well, as we all know, Ian Shaw has played The Shark is Broken, played London, played Toronto, played New York. It is currently back in the UK touring. It was scheduled to play in Hyannis in May. That show has been canceled, but they will be playing on Martha's Vineyard starting July 5th. So if you want to see A Shark is Broken, see it in Amity. I
Yeah.
can't imagine a greater place to see it, because I saw Field of Dreams once on the Field of Dreams. I saw Jaws on the beach there in Edgartown. When I was in the theater business in Baltimore, the theater I ran, I had Forrest Gump, and a scene from Forrest Gump was shot out outside, and people are going, "Oh, I know where that is." So to actually be on Martha's Vineyard and watch this play, this making of Jaws, it's going to be an amazing experience. I do know that Guy Masterson, the original director, is directing it. The original set designer is coming to design the set. There is no word on casting yet. That'll be announced later. Like I said, Ian is touring with the show in England right now. So don't assume it's going to be him, but it could be. But definitely The Shark is Broken coming to Amity. I just think that's
Wow.
great.
Breaking
That's
news, man.
That's a mind blower. I went up to New York City to see that. Wait a minute.
Almost
almost
mine.
at least for us as fans, it almost parallels going and watching Jaws in Edgartown. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, when we were throwing out ideas last year about what we wanted to see, and one of mine was to do a thing at the Performing Arts Center there at the high school, and not tell anybody, just it's a special event, and then open the curtains and it's Ian doing the Indianapolis speech. I thought that would just be whoa, yeah.
Wow.
So it's not exactly my idea, but it's this I think it'll be great. It'll be a fun time. So, and a lot of people that they go to Edgartown, they go to the Vineyard 4th of July weekend, just because Jaws is 4th of July weekend.
Correct.
So if you've already made your plans, you got something else to do.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well,
Also, if you're in England that weekend, Richard Dreyfuss will be at the London Film Show. So
Yep. Yes, he will.
oh wow. Oh,
Yep.
Nice. Very nice.
we cover everything on this show.
That's
Yeah,
right. A little bit of
We
everything.
do. Yep.
The whole dynamic. Well, as is the tradition here, we always do a little fins up as kind of our thank you and goodbye to everyone. So
Oh, I get to
fins
do
up
it
to
tonight. I'm
everyone at
so
home.
happy.
Hey,
Thanks everyone for joining us and
Thank you,
for
ladies.
hanging out with us. Yes, and
Thank
again,
you.
thank you, Rebecca and Kathy, and we'll let Quint take us out. And you guys have yourselves a wonderful week. We'll catch you again very shortly.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so nevermore shall we see you again.
Have a good one, guys.
good
Good
night.
night.